The sky was wide and calm, painted in soft shades of early evening blue. High above the quiet earth, something enormous floated gently through the air. It moved slowly, smoothly, like a giant cloud with a silver body. The Hindenburg airship glided peacefully across the sky. Its long shape shimmered softly as sunlight touched its metal skin. Below, fields and rivers rested quietly. Tiny houses looked like little toys from so high above. Everything felt calm, still, peaceful. Inside the airship, soft light filled the long hallway. Windows curved gently along the sides, letting passengers look out at the open sky. Comfortable chairs rested near the glass. People sat quietly, some reading, some watching clouds drift by. Their faces looked relaxed. The air felt warm and gentle. The soft hum of engines sounded like a slow, steady lullaby. Not loud, not rough. Just a peaceful rhythm that filled the air. The Hindenburg floated forward, carried by invisible winds. It was like drifting in a dream. Above the clouds, between sky and earth, a man stood near a window, watching the land far below. He smiled softly as rivers curved like silver ribbons. A woman beside him pointed gently at a group of fluffy clouds floating close to the airship. They looked close enough to touch. Children pressed their hands softly against the glass, eyes wide with wonder. Everything felt magical, like flying inside a peaceful floating palace. The sun slowly lowered toward the horizon. Its light turned warm and golden. Clouds changed color, soft pink, gentle orange, and pale purple. The sky looked like a painting. The Hindenburg continued its smooth journey through this glowing world. Time seemed to slow. Each moment stretched softly, like a calm breath. Inside the dining room, quiet music played gently. People enjoyed warm meals and soft conversation. The sound of forks and cups was slow and peaceful. Laughter drifted lightly through the air. Nothing felt rushed. Nothing felt loud. Just calm comfort in the sky. Outside, the clouds slowly drifted past. Some were tall like mountains. Some were flat like wide soft blankets. The airship glided between them effortlessly. Occasionally, sunlight flashed softly across the metal sides. It looked like gentle sparkles dancing in the air. The sky seemed endless. Blue above. Soft clouds around. Golden light everywhere. A young woman sat quietly by a window with a book resting in her lap. But she wasn't reading. Her eyes were fixed on the sky outside. She watched birds flying far below. They looked so small. She wondered how it felt to fly freely like them. The Hindenburg floated even higher now. The clouds below began to form a soft white ocean. Their tops glowed gently in the warm sunset light. It looked like waves frozen in time. Peace spread across the sky. A soft breeze brushed the windows. Barely noticeable. Just a gentle whisper. Inside, the lights glowed warmer as the sun slowly faded. The evening settled in quietly. Passengers wrapped themselves in light blankets. Some closed their eyes, resting peacefully. Others continued watching the glowing sky. The engines hummed steadily. The rhythm was slow and soothing, like a heart beating calmly. The Hindenburg floated forward, steady and graceful. No sudden movement. No sharp turns. Just a smooth, peaceful journey through the evening sky. As the sun finally touched the horizon, the sky changed again. Deep orange slowly melted into soft purple, then into calm blue. Stars began to appear one by one. Small at first, then more. Soon the sky was sprinkled with gentle lights. The moon rose quietly, glowing pale and peaceful. Its light reflected softly off the airship's silver body. The Hindenburg now glowed softly in the night sky, like a floating moon of its own. Inside, everything remained calm. Soft conversations faded into quiet whispers. Music slowed. Lights dimmed slightly. The long hallway felt warm and cozy. People moved slowly, calmly. No rush. No noise. Just peaceful floating through the night. Outside, clouds drifted lazily below. The moonlight painted them silver. Stars twinkled gently above. The sky felt wide and endless. A feeling of gentle curiosity floated in the air. Where would the airship go next? What lands would appear beneath the clouds? How long would this peaceful journey continue? The Hindenburg moved quietly onward, carrying its passengers through the calm night sky, towards something unseen beyond the horizon. The soft hum continued. The stars slowly shifted, and the great airship drifted peacefully forward into the quiet mystery of the night. The night grew deeper and quieter as the Hindenburg continued its smooth journey across the sky. The moon now stood higher, glowing softly like a gentle lamp hanging in the heavens. Its silver light spread across the clouds below, turning them into a peaceful sea of shining waves. The airship floated above them, calm and steady, as if resting on invisible water. Inside, the soft hum of the engines continued like a slow heartbeat. Warm lights glowed along the curved walls. Passengers moved slowly, their footsteps quiet and gentle. Some had already fallen asleep in their comfortable chairs. Others rested with eyes half closed, breathing slowly and deeply. The night felt safe, peaceful, almost magical. A man near the window watched the moonlight dance across the clouds. Each cloud moved slowly, changing shape like drifting dreams. He smiled softly, feeling as if time had slowed down just for this moment. Beside him, a young boy pointed quietly at a bright star. "It looks like it's following us," he whispered. His mother smiled and nodded gently. "It's watching over us," she said softly. The Hindenburg floated higher, climbing slowly into even clearer skies. The clouds below grew farther away. The stars above seemed brighter. The world felt wide and endless. A peaceful silence wrapped around everything. Only the gentle engine sound remained, steady and calming. In the dining room, a few passengers still sat quietly with warm drinks in their hands. Steam rose softly from cups of tea and coffee. The smell of warm bread and soup filled the air. It felt cozy and comforting, like being inside a floating home in the sky. Soft music played somewhere in the background. Slow, gentle, almost like a lullaby. Outside, the wind brushed lightly against the airship's body. Not strong, just a soft whisper. The metal skin reflected moonlight with a peaceful glow. The Hindenburg looked like a giant silver fish swimming slowly through the night sky. Far below, the land slowly disappeared. Rivers turned into thin, shining lines. Fields faded into dark shapes. Soon only the wide ocean remained beneath the clouds. The water was dark and calm, stretching endlessly in all directions. Moonlight shimmered across its surface like scattered diamonds. The airship now floated above the vast sea. So high, so quiet, so peaceful. A woman sitting alone near the window wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. She watched the endless ocean below with gentle curiosity. It looked so calm, so still, yet so deep and mysterious. She wondered what creatures might be swimming far beneath the waves. She wondered how long the ocean went on. And she wondered where this beautiful journey would lead. The Hindenburg continued forward without hurry. The night air was smooth and steady. No sudden movement. No strong winds. Just calm floating. Time seemed to melt away. Minutes felt like soft breaths. Hours drifted like clouds. Inside the sleeping cabins, passengers rested peacefully. Some breathed slowly in deep sleep. Some smiled gently, lost in quiet dreams. The soft vibration of the airship felt like a gentle cradle rocking them to rest. Outside, stars slowly shifted across the sky. The moon drifted quietly along its path. The clouds below changed shape again and again. Everything moved in slow harmony. A soft feeling of curiosity remained in the air. Where would the airship go after crossing this endless ocean? Would land appear soon? Or would the sky continue forever? The Hindenburg floated onward, carrying its peaceful travelers through the calm night. Far in the distance, something faint began to appear. At first, it was barely visible. Just a darker shade against the horizon. Then slowly, it grew clearer. A long, low shape rising gently from the ocean. Land. Quiet land resting beneath the moonlight. Passengers who were still awake leaned closer to the windows. Soft whispers filled the hallway. "Do you see that? It looks like land." "Yes, it must be." The dark shape slowly grew larger. Moonlight revealed soft curves of shore. The ocean near it glowed lighter blue. The land looked peaceful and silent. No bright lights. No tall buildings. Just quiet nature resting under the stars. The Hindenburg glided gently toward it. The air remained calm and warm. The engine hummed steadily. Everything felt safe and smooth. As the airship moved closer, small details appeared. Long beaches curved softly along the water. Dark trees lined the land. Low hills rose gently behind them. It looked like a sleeping island. Peaceful and untouched. A gentle excitement filled the air. Passengers watched quietly, their eyes full of wonder. Where was this place? Was it the next stop on their journey? Or just a peaceful land to pass by? The night offered no answers yet. Only calm skies. Soft moonlight. And a land slowly growing closer beneath the floating airship. The Hindenburg continued its smooth glide forward, carried by the quiet winds, toward the silent shore waiting ahead. Curiosity drifted softly in every heart. What would happen next? What would this peaceful land reveal? The sky remained calm. The ocean whispered gently below. And the great airship floated onward into the quiet mystery of the night. The peaceful island slowly passed beneath the Hindenburg, fading softly into the darkness behind. The airship did not stop. It continued floating gently forward, carried by the calm night wind. The moonlight shimmered on the ocean once more, stretching endlessly in every direction. The land became only a shadow. Then nothing at all. Only wide open water remained below. Inside the airship, everything stayed quiet and calm. Most passengers were now sleeping deeply. Their breaths rose and fell slowly. The soft hum of the engines wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Lights glowed gently along the hallway. Shadows moved slowly across the curved walls. The air felt warm and peaceful. Time drifted softly, like clouds in the sky. The stars continued their slow journey overhead. The moon traveled quietly across the dark blue night. Outside, the sky looked endless. Inside, the Hindenburg felt like a floating dream. A gentle breeze brushed along the metal sides. Not strong, just soft and smooth. The airship responded calmly, gliding steady and true. Far below, the ocean looked deep and calm. Waves moved slowly, barely visible in the moonlight. Everything seemed asleep. The sea, the sky, the world below. A soft feeling of curiosity remained, floating gently in the air. Where was the Hindenburg going now? What waited beyond the horizon? No one knew yet. But the journey continued peacefully. A quiet ticking sound came from the instruments near the control room. Lights blinked softly. Everything showed smooth and normal. The crew moved slowly, checking gently, whispering quietly. Their faces looked calm and focused. The airship floated forward without trouble. The night felt gentle and safe. Hours passed softly. The moon slowly lowered in the sky. The stars began to fade just a little. A faint light appeared far away along the horizon. Not bright, just a soft glow. The sky was slowly changing color. Deep blue began to turn into lighter shades. Morning was quietly approaching. The air felt fresh and cool. The Hindenburg floated onward through the early dawn. Soft pink and pale gold colors touched the clouds far away. The ocean below began to reflect these gentle colors. It looked like a painting slowly coming to life. Passengers slowly began to wake. Some stretched softly. Others rubbed their eyes gently. Quiet smiles appeared as they looked out at the peaceful morning sky. The new day felt calm and hopeful. The sun had not yet risen fully, but its light was slowly spreading across the horizon. A warm glow touched the clouds and water. The Hindenburg continued its smooth flight into the fresh morning air. Suddenly, far ahead, something dark appeared again. At first, it looked like a long shadow. Then slowly it became clearer. Land once more. This land looked wider than before. Long stretches of shoreline curved along the water. Beyond them rose gentle hills and forests. Small rivers shimmered softly as they moved toward the ocean. The land felt peaceful, but alive with morning light. Passengers gathered quietly near the windows. Soft voices whispered, "Is that our destination? It must be getting closer now." The Hindenburg glided slowly toward the growing land. The sky continued to brighten. Birds could be seen flying far below near the shore. The ocean near the land glowed lighter blue. Everything looked calm and welcoming. The airship moved lower, just slightly. Not fast. Just a gentle descent. The engines hummed softly as always. The crew carefully guided the airship forward. The land now filled more of the view. Fields, forests, and small roads appeared clearly. Tiny houses could be seen scattered across the land. Thin lines of smoke rose gently from chimneys far below. People were waking up in the quiet towns. Life was beginning softly on the ground. The peaceful flight felt almost complete. But deep inside, a soft curiosity remained. Would everything continue this smoothly? Would the journey end as peacefully as it had begun? The sky looked calm. The wind felt gentle. Yet something unseen waited quietly ahead. Not dangerous, just unknown. The Hindenburg glided closer to the land, floating calmly above rivers and trees. Morning light now filled the sky, warm and soft. The world looked beautiful and still. Passengers watched quietly, their hearts calm and curious. The airship moved steadily forward toward its destination. The gentle adventure was not yet over. Something more waited beyond this peaceful moment. What would happen as the Hindenburg drew closer to the earth below? Would the calm continue? Or would the sky reveal something new? The sun slowly rose higher, spreading golden light across the land and sea. And the great airship floated peacefully onward, toward the next quiet chapter of its journey. The golden morning light continued to spread gently across the sky. The Hindenburg floated smoothly above the land now, moving slowly and peacefully. Soft clouds drifted below the airship like quiet rivers of white. The sun warmed the metal skin of the great airship, making it glow softly. Everything felt calm. Everything felt safe. Inside, passengers watched the beautiful world below with relaxed faces. Some held warm cups of tea or coffee. Others leaned back comfortably in their seats. Quiet conversations floated through the lounge. Soft laughter came and went like gentle waves. The journey felt like a dream that was slowly unfolding. Outside, fields stretched wide and green. Rivers curved like silver ribbons. Tiny towns knew nothing of the peaceful giant floating above them. Birds flew near the airship, circling curiously before gliding away again. The wind brushed softly against the windows. Not strong, just enough to whisper. The crew continued their calm routine. They checked gauges slowly. They spoke softly to one another. Everything showed smooth and steady. The engines hummed like a low lullaby. No rush. No worry. Time flowed gently forward. The Hindenburg slowly descended a little more. The land below looked closer now. Trees appeared taller. Houses looked clearer. Roads became thin lines moving across the earth. The air felt fresh and cool as the morning breeze touched the airship. The sky remained bright and peaceful. Soft clouds drifted slowly away. Nothing disturbed the calm. Yet somewhere deep inside the great airship, a quiet feeling of curiosity continued to float. What waited ahead? How would this beautiful journey end? The airship glided onward. Steady, smooth, gentle. Far ahead, tall structures slowly appeared. Thin towers rose from the land. Long ropes and poles stood in open fields. It looked like a place prepared for a gentle landing. Passengers leaned closer to the windows. Their eyes followed the growing shapes below. Soft excitement filled the air. "Are we arriving?" someone whispered. "It looks like it," another answered quietly. The Hindenburg moved lower now. Slowly, carefully. The engines softened their hum. The wind brushed more clearly against the sides. The land below felt close enough to touch. Large open fields stretched wide. People could be seen moving like tiny dots. Vehicles rolled slowly along dirt roads. Everything looked calm and organized. The airship drifted forward like a floating cloud. Ropes hung quietly from its sides, swaying gently. The crew prepared carefully. Hands moved slowly and confidently. Faces remained peaceful and focused. The sky stayed bright and blue. The sun warmed everything softly. Birds flew lower now, passing beneath the airship. The world below seemed to welcome the great floating ship. The Hindenburg lowered just a little more. So smooth. So gentle. Passengers held their breath softly, not from fear, but from the quiet beauty of the moment. The giant airship floated toward the tall landing towers. The calm morning light made everything glow. The fields shined softly. The air felt warm and peaceful. Yet still, a small mystery lingered in the air. Would the landing be as gentle as the journey? Would everything go exactly as planned? The wind whispered quietly around the airship. The ropes swayed softly below. The ground slowly drew closer. The crew watched carefully. The passengers waited calmly. Time seemed to slow. The world felt still. The great airship continued its graceful descent. Everything looked perfect. Everything felt peaceful. But the story was not finished yet. Something quiet and unseen still waited just ahead. What would happen next as the Hindenburg came closer to the earth? Would the calm continue forever? Or would the sky gently change the path of the journey? The sun shined warmly above. The airship floated smoothly forward. And the next moment of the story waited softly in the air. The air felt still and warm as the Hindenburg floated just above the wide open field. The morning sun shone softly across the grass below. Long shadows stretched quietly across the ground. The great airship moved slower now, almost like it was resting in the sky. The gentle hum of the engines faded even more. Everything felt calm. Everything felt peaceful. The crew watched carefully as the ropes drifted downward. Men on the ground reached up slowly, ready to guide the giant ship. The ropes touched the earth with a soft movement. Hands gently held them. The Hindenburg floated in place, steady and quiet. The passengers smiled softly. Some closed their eyes, enjoying the warm morning air. Others whispered about how smooth the journey had been. It felt like a perfect ending to a beautiful trip. The sky above remained bright blue. The clouds stayed far away. The sun continued its gentle glow. Time moved slowly, like a peaceful dream. The great silver body of the airship shimmered softly in the sunlight. The world below seemed calm and welcoming. The crew gave slow signals. Everything appeared to be going just right. The Hindenburg floated closer to the tall landing tower. Steady. Quiet. Gentle. The ropes tightened slightly as the ground crew guided the ship. The airship lowered just a little more. Passengers leaned back in their seats, relaxed and happy. Some breathed slowly and deeply. The soft movement felt like floating on calm water. The morning breeze brushed lightly against the windows. Birds circled above the field, gliding peacefully. Nothing rushed. Nothing worried. Just a slow, calm landing. The airship continued its smooth descent. The grass below swayed gently in the wind. The tall tower waited silently. The crew moved with quiet focus. Everything seemed perfectly under control. And in that peaceful moment, the journey felt complete. The long flight across the sky had come to a gentle end. The Hindenburg rested softly above the earth, like a giant silver cloud returning home. The calm morning wrapped around everyone. Breathing slowed. Thoughts softened. The world felt quiet and safe. The story slowly drifted toward rest. No rush. No noise. Only peace. The great airship remained still, held gently by ropes and careful hands. The sun warmed the scene like a soft blanket. The sky stayed wide and blue. The passengers felt comfort and calm in their hearts. The journey through the sky had been smooth and beautiful. And now it was time to rest. As the Hindenburg floated quietly in place, the day continued softly forward. The breeze whispered gently. The world stayed peaceful. And your mind can now drift slowly too. Like the great airship, you can relax and rest, floating into gentle sleep, breathing slow, body calm, thoughts quiet. Let the peaceful sky carry you softly into dreams. The story ends here, but calm continues on.